Alright mate, today I'm going to be discussing a way of life that I see so many young men being pushed towards to nowadays. And actually, to none of my surprise, most of these young men haven't even realised it because it's buried deep within their subconscious mind, where it's pretty difficult to access information. And what I'm talking about here is this idea of being the nice guy and basically trying to please every motherfucker around you. And it's probably not the first time that you've heard something like this, but what does it actually mean? What does it actually mean when people say to you to stop being a people pleaser or to stop being Mr. Nice Guy? Does it mean that you should just be a twat to everybody? Does it mean that you should just karate chop every bastard that gets in your way? Or does it mean that you should only just think about yourself forevermore? Well, these are all the kinds of questions that I will be trying to answer today. But if you are just here for the quick and simple answer, then yes, just karate chop every single person that gets in front of your way. Now that that's cleared up for you, I would like to make a quick confession. Basically, I want to tell a little story about myself. Shock. So I want to tell a story about myself as to how I've pretty much been a people pleaser for my entire life. Now, I've focused so hard on trying to impress people to the point where I would literally put other people's needs before my own just to avoid disappointing them or making them think that I was uncaring. Now, you've probably heard that and not really thought that it's, that much of a big deal, because let's face it, you probably do the same fucking thing. You probably want people to think you are one of the nicest people around, and you will do anything to prove that, even if it means jeopardizing not only your own happiness but also your own development as a man. Now, let me give you a few reasons why that in itself is such an issue, okay? Firstly, people don't really give a shit whether or not you help them. And the reason for this is because they will quite simply just find another simp ready to give them exactly what they want. Trust me, there's a lot of them out there. They might seem quite displeased or whatever at first, but they'll get over it pretty quickly. Secondly, you are just going to start resenting yourself and the life that you live because you are solely focused on making other people happy before yourself. And thirdly, you will build up so much pressure of trying to live this perfect image, which doesn't actually exist, by the way, that you will be restricted from living the life that you actually wanted to live. And all of this shit has happened to me in the past, by the way. So I knew something big had to change. I had to stop being so nice to everybody and just start being an absolute cunt. Nah, seriously, not being Mr. Nice Guy and just being a straight up twat are two very different things. And for sure, I am not trying to promote just being a straight up asshole. The key is to be respectful, but also firm and assertive with your decisions so that you can freely focus on yourself and your own missions in life, bro. And in turn, this is actually what will allow you to provide for others. This is what will allow you to provide for others. So let's begin then, mate. How can you stop being such a pushover? And I've made a little presentation here to go alongside what I say, maybe to help you understand a little bit better. But number one, quite simply, bro, it's just to start saying no to people. You don't have to say yes to everything. Just say no. When people want you to do something or they want you to act in a certain way and you so desperately have this urge to say no, but you still say yes, that is a clear sign that you are a people pleaser, and you need to change it, mate, because for your own sake, bro, this is not a positive attribute to have, especially if you have other things that you want to be doing that are important to you. And I guarantee this is one of, if not the main reason for why you feel like you're not getting the most out of your life. And I know this because of my own personal experiences. Like, there was this one time, right, and I'll never forget this. Me and some of my buddies from Cornwall were planning a trip to Wales, and we'd had this trip planned for a couple of weeks or whatever. And about a week before we were supposed to go, my manager from the kitchen that I used to work in, I used to be a pot wash in a kitchen, needed a dog sitter to look after their dog that weekend. And me being me, right, I've obviously put my hand up and I've said, yeah, I'll look after your little shitty ratty fucking dog. It was like I physically couldn't mouth the words no. But yeah, obviously I was immediately pissed off with my decision of saying yes, and I instantly regretted my decision. But like, yeah, that was it. I ended up dog sitting for my manager's dog instead of going away with the boys on a lad's trip to Wales. I'm still pretty fuming about it, to be honest, but you know, we live and we learn. Obviously, looking back, I wish that I had respectfully said no, and then if I hadn't have said no at the start, I should have then gone back and say, you know, I'm sorry boss, but I actually didn't realise that I had some plans this weekend with my mates. But obviously I would have felt too guilty to do that at the time. That was just the kind of person I was. So yeah, what I've learned from that situation, and pretty much ever since that lesson, I've always tried to put myself first. It's so important. It is not selfish to prioritise yourself for your own interests or your own goals. It is literally just taking care of yourself. And actually, if you want to be the kind of person to take care of other people and provide them with a great life, then you need to be able to take care of yourself first. And if you're not putting yourself first, you are going to find it so much harder to care for the people that you actually want to care for, which is precisely the goal of the people pleaser in the first place. You're actually being counterproductive by putting other people's needs ahead of yours. And you could almost say that putting yourself first in most situations is better for all parties involved. Okay, rule number 2 then, bro. Remember, you cannot please everyone. Whatever you choose to do, there are going to be unsatisfied people. That's just the way it is. In that personal story example that I literally just gave you, I may have pleased my manager, but I displeased my friends, and more importantly, I displeased myself. And if, for example, I had told my manager, no, I can't look after your goddamn dog, she might have been a little bit upset, but then I would have pleased myself and I would have pleased my friends. Would she have been heartbroken? No, she would have asked somebody else. She would have found a different solution to her problem. But the moral of the story is, whatever you choose to do, you're most probably likely to upset at least somebody. So why not make that you? Why on earth would you choose to upset yourself and jeopardize your own health? Okay, rule number 3. Learn to be assertive and stand up for yourself. All right? One trait that I see so many young men struggling with is that they just don't know what they want from their lives, and they don't have a particular direction. What you want to be doing is taking a moment to yourself where you can really try to figure out what it is exactly that you want, right? And then be assertive with that decision. This trait is actually very masculine, you know, and it's honestly something that I'm still trying to work on myself. I can be very indecisive at times. And I find that if you're not able to, you know, take an authoritative stance, people will literally just walk all over you and they will take every single positive piece of you. So just don't allow it, man. Just don't allow it. Be assertive, figure out what you want, and then go for it. Okay, boys, and advice number 4. This is pretty much a summarization of literally the ones you've just heard. This is the most important one, and it is literally just to make yourself a priority, man. As I said earlier, if you're not putting yourself first, you will not be able to provide for people in the best way that you would like to be able to provide for them. It is literally counterproductive to put other people before you, and you won't be able to give them what you want because you won't have the energy to. You will end up running yourself to the ground and you will start resenting your whole entire life. And trust me, that kind of person is completely useless. You are not only giving yourself a disservice, but you are offering others a disservice. That kind of person is useless. So trust me, my friend, take care of yourself, and then you will be able to take care of others in the way that you so wish to do. To grow your mindset even more, click on this video right here, or click on the link in the description below. Believe you can, and you are more than halfway there. Now fuck off.